Over the last few years, Cardano has been unbelievably transparent. But since a lot of the rest of the crypto space just wasn't listening, it was almost like the project was in stealth mode. It seems obvious at this point that the crypto world has no idea what's about to hit it. Ready? Let's go. This is a really weird contrast. All of us inside the Cardano ecosystem see exactly what's coming since Cardano has been so open and upfront with us, but it's easy for that to give you a false impression of how little the rest of the crypto space really understands Cardano. This tweet from Weiss Crypto just today was a perfect barometer of this phenomenon. They posted, Cardano's Alonzo hard fork is scheduled for sometime on Sunday and will allegedly bring smart contracts and NFT support to the world's third largest blockchain. How this affects the overall market and more specifically the L1 landscape is to be determined. So allegedly implies that it's been stated it would happen. Assertions have been made it will happen, but it's unclear whether the assertions are true. They also said that it would bring NFT support. We're approaching 1 million. We'll hit 1 million pretty soon here, 1 million NFTs. This tweet makes it sound like there are no NFTs and that NFTs, the advent of the Cardano NFT era, will occur with Alonzo. Completely incorrect. Characterizing the Alonzo hard fork as allegedly bringing smart contracts. Also, allegedly is what you say about criminals. Allegedly is what you say when you want to say that a criminal committed a crime, but you don't want to get sued for libel in case they didn't commit the crime. That's when you use allegedly. What's amazing about this is this is the kind of post you'd expect from an Ethereum maximalist. Weiss Crypto bills itself as the nation's leading provider of independent, unbiased, trusted ratings of stocks, mutual funds, cryptocurrencies, ETFs, and financial institutions. What's crazier is that Weiss Crypto has been extremely friendly to Cardano in the past. In fact, just a few days ago, they posted this big multi-tweet thread dispelling all the misinformation about concurrency issues in an EU TXO architecture like Cardano. They say, Cardano uses an entirely different architecture from what the industry is used to. There are no scalability issues. That's pretty strong language when the rest of the industry is saying that Cardano is going to experience scalability issues, which turned out to be misinformation. Weiss Crypto was willing to come right out and say there are no scalability issues. And there's nothing a smart contract platform can do that ADA smart contracts cannot do. The criticism of non-functioning smart contracts is either naive, disingenuous, or outright cynical. That's pretty strong language in favor of Cardano. I think they're being pretty objective here. And somebody obviously did their homework if they were willing to go out on a limb and say this when there was so much misinformation still out there in the industry. In fact, the tone taken towards Cardano in this tweet is so different from the previous one I read to you that you could only assume that these were two different authors. It seems like that was kind of confirmed only 2 hours after the allegedly tweet when Weiss Crypto offered up this full apology. They said Cardano is a complex project, and most of the criticism we've seen stems from a misunderstanding the basics of how it's constructed. True. Its features and its roadmap. Sometimes even our own analysts fall prey to this. We apologize and we will strive to do better next time. So we can see here, even two different people at Weiss Crypto have almost diametrically opposed viewpoints on Cardano. One person, the person who wrote the earlier tweet, was willing to say that Alonzo will allegedly bring smart contracts and seemed to not even know that we already had NFTs. The second person, not 2 hours later, saw this and immediately realized they needed to apologize. The reaction of the Cardano community to the first tweet probably didn't hurt. Cardano fans may have scored the tweet of the day when they responded to the earlier Weiss Crypto tweet with, I think you have allegedly good researchers. Then they backed it up with cold hard facts, posting data showing that the Cardano blockchain had already minted almost 750,000 NFTs. Obviously, all the maximalist hate has helped the Cardano community to hone its skills in fighting misinformation. Here's what's important here though. If someone posting publicly on behalf of Weiss Crypto, whose whole business is analyzing cryptocurrencies, understood so little about what was going on with Cardano, we have to ask ourselves, how much does the average person in crypto understand about what's going on with Cardano? People in crypto have no idea how big Cardano has gotten, even in these days prior to the launch of smart contracts. And when confronted with the actual data, they don't even believe it because it looks so tremendous. Here's data from Masari.io on 26 different assets and their 24-hour volumes. And it doesn't really matter whether you measure it like this, or like this. It's apparent that even compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum, Cardano is doing a crazy amount of volume. Don't ask me to explain to you exactly how Masari is measuring each of these three different metrics. But the really interesting part is when you look at the fees, it's super apparent that Cardano is doing a lot of volume and they're doing it extremely efficiently. Look at this. No matter which of these three metrics you want to look at, the fees in the last over this 24-hour period for Cardano were only $59,000, whereas for Ethereum it was $57 million. For Bitcoin it was $0.64 million. So Cardano is extremely crazy efficient compared to either Bitcoin or Ethereum for moving this kind of volume on the blockchain. Of course, when Cardanians post this kind of data, they get responses like this one. Is it true? ADA has no smart contract on it itself? How are these transactions happening? The post had nothing to do with the concurrency issue or anything like that. And this person, they see this data and the first thing they go to is Cardano has no smart contracts. How are they doing transactions? As if somehow Cardano has not been transferring ADA all this time. It's just been, we've all just been waiting. We've all just been waiting for smart contracts so we could like buy ADA for the first time, so we could move ADA into our accounts. There definitely could not have been any transactions prior to this. This person down here has a little bit more interesting response. They say, feels like they count all UTXO as actual volume. I would not rely on their numbers. And they go through to point out that in UTXO transactions, the entire unspent transaction output is consumed. So if you're spending one ADA and you have 1,000 ADA, the entire thing is consumed. And he's like, are they counting, just the one ADA or the entire amount of ADA? But Cardano is not the only UTXO blockchain in that list. What about Bitcoin? I can't imagine any reason why Masari would be measuring Cardano's transaction volume any differently than it would measure Bitcoin's transaction volume. Again, I have no idea how Masari does his calculations or how they measure any of those different metrics for 24-hour volume, but it seems like they would measure all the UTXO blockchains the same way. And if they're somehow measuring Cardano wrong, then they probably have been measuring Bitcoin wrong all this time. So who knows? But I think no matter how you dice it, it looks like Cardano is doing a pretty phenomenal amount of transaction volume every single day. And it kind of makes sense given the amount of NFT volume we see on the network. There's a ton of NFT transactions going on every single day. I mean, we've got 750,000 NFTs that have already been minted, and we haven't been minting NFTs that long, really. But none of that is even the point. The point is that the Cardano blockchain is unbelievably efficient compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum. And that's the main thrust of what Cardanians was saying here. We haven't even launched smart contracts yet. Can you imagine what these numbers are going to look like after the 12th? Speaking of the 12th, there is going to be a Cardano 360 Alonzo watch party. This is the big event we've all been waiting for years. I can't believe it's finally here. It's going to go down at UTC 21:30. I'm going to attempt to run down for you right now what time that is locally in a bunch of different parts of the world, but double check these. I don't want anybody to miss the live stream because I told them the wrong time. Double check these. I might have made a mistake, but here's what I think 21:30 is in the following regions. Pacific 2:30 p.m., Mountain 3:30 p.m., Central 4:30 p.m., Eastern 5:30 p.m. Those were all the North America times. Western European time zone 10:30 p.m., Central European time zone 11:30 p.m., Eastern European time zone 12:30 a.m., Bangkok 4:30 a.m., Tokyo 6:30 a.m. and Sydney 7:30 a.m. I know I skipped whole swaths of the globe there. Apologize profusely if I missed your town, but I hope that's enough for everybody to kind of calculate. But again, please double check me because I don't want anybody to miss the stream because of my miscalculation. You probably noticed that this video is number 179. That means tomorrow is video 180. That means I've made a video every single day about Cardano for 6 months without missing a day. I couldn't have possibly dreamed that day 180 would be the same day that smart contracts would go live on mainnet. The timing just worked out perfectly. We might need to celebrate this a little bit. So here's what may happen. If I can figure out how to do it while still obscuring my identity, because I don't want this to be like an identity reveal or anything like that. If I can figure out how to do it, still obscure my identity and still make it, somewhat visually interesting, then we may do it live, just so that we can kind of interact and do some live discussion. It might turn out that there's no way to do it and make it interesting because I don't want to make it an identity reveal. So it may be that we end up not being able to do it. But if we can, we'll either do it tomorrow in the next video or the next one, which would be the first one after Alonzo, which might be kind of cool. That might be better because then maybe we could talk about Alonzo. But possibly one of the next two videos, we might do it live. It'll happen at the normal time. Whatever time the videos normally go live in your time zone, that'll be the time. So no guarantees, but in any case, I will talk to you tomorrow.